Hey guys, welcome to the second installment of this 6-part mini series that is going to help you literally revolutionize your life with fat loss, getting fitter, getting stronger, healthier, happier, and more confident. Okay, and what we're looking at today is nutrition, and more specifically, the Smart Eating Blueprint, which is a method that I've come up with within my coaching to really help people excel with their nutrition without becoming overwhelmed and to just enhance results. And it works, it absolutely works. So, what we're looking at here is fueling your body, simplifying nutrition, and basically enjoying real results as the part of that. So, it's going to be a practical approach to sustainable weight loss without the kind of complexity that you would normally see on all sorts of little social media platforms, all that kind of stuff. And it's unnecessarily complex and overcomplicated. And we're going to look at how we can make nutrition work for your lifestyle, not against your lifestyle. So that is what today's lesson is all about. So first up, why does nutrition feel hard? Yeah, it does. When we are dieting, when we're trying to lose weight, it feels really, really difficult. And the world of nutrition is deliberately complicated. It really, really is. And it leaves most people frustrated and stuck in a cycle of failure. And you just keep going round, keep going round, keep going round. Now, diet culture thrives on overcomplicated rules and conflicting advice. And it just kind of paralyzes decision making. It just makes things so difficult for the individual to actually understand what the hell they should be doing. Its restrictive approaches create a psychological backlash, leading to inevitable fail cycles. So the all or nothing mindset, not a good way of going about it, guys. It is unsustainable and you're more than likely going to rebound from it. And most people actually know what to do. This is the key thing, but they struggle with it, with how to make it fit their unique lifestyle, because not everyone's the same. Everyone has got different work, different family commitments, different social commitments. Everyone's different. Everyone's got different body composition. So not one thing is going to work for every single person. We need to figure out a way to make this work for you individually. That's what I do. That's what I love doing. So the truth about fat loss and food, right? Let's have a look at this. Fat loss and food. Moderation is going to trump elimination. So you don't need to cut out carbs. You don't need to cut out sugar. You don't need to cut out alcohol entirely. Okay. I appreciate their alcohol especially is not going to be that beneficial towards your goals, but I appreciate we're human beings. We're not Olympic athletes. We're human beings, and this needs to be sustainable long term. So sustainable nutrition is going to allow for all foods, and yes, I mean all foods, in appropriate amounts. So this is what we're looking at with the Smart Eating Blueprint. We're looking at really making this long term. Consistency is way more important than perfection, all right? It's not about being perfect. It's not about the perfect eating plan or following rigid plans or following rigid diets. Consistent good choices outperform occasional perfect days. I utilize something called the Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 principle, okay? 80% of the time, we are making good, healthy food choices. 20% of the time, you can relax, you can chill. But as long as the vast majority of the choices you're making throughout the course of any given day, any given week, any given month are aligned with where you want to be, then the 20% doesn't really matter. You can chill a little bit as long as you don't go completely haywire, because we are still trying to achieve a goal. So that's kind of what I do, help teach people and help people who are struggling with balance. They can kind of go to that approach just to make them, or allow them to have a bit more balance with their nutrition. A key thing is small daily wins. With all forms of health and fitness is small daily wins. So sustainable fat loss comes from accumulating small victories daily rather than extreme short-term measures that will fail after a week or two. So just make those small changes consistently, keep stacking them up, and that will surmount into something incredible further down the line. So the gist of it is most successful clients understand that balance and portion control create long-term results. It's not extreme measures or complete food group elimination that's going to work. It doesn't. We need to have that long-term approach. You need to think of the process. You need to think about, can I do this long-term? Can I continue to eat this way for a while? And if you can't, something needs to be done, okay? So the Smart Eating Blueprint method, something I came up with a couple of years ago, and it's just been working wonders ever since. So it's a flexible system designed to simplify nutrition decisions while maximizing results. Basically, we want to take out decision fatigue away from the whole situation. We don't want to be worrying too much about what we're going to have for lunch. Let's have a plan in place, okay? So we have some flexible templates. You have 2 to 3 adaptable meal structures that work for your preferences. So eliminate decision fatigue while maintaining variety is a good way of going about it, but you've also got the structure that you kind of know what you're going to be having. So an example of this would be, for lunchtime, you have 2 or 3 lunches that you go to. There you go to, all right? And they're simple to make. You know exactly what's in it, calorie-wise, macro-wise, protein, fiber, all that jazz. And it's just so simple to prepare. So they're there, automated. Same with breakfast. You have 2 breakfast choices, okay? You might even have one that you just love, but you know exactly what's in it, and you know exactly how that's going to help you align with your goal. And then dinner could be a bit more relaxed. If you're eating with the family, I'm not expecting you to eat perfectly every single night, But again, that's when we need to kind of grasp our portion control, grasp eyeballing food and knowing kind of what's in carbohydrate, how many carbohydrates are on the plate, how much protein, etc. Okay, balanced macros is next up. So every meal contains an appropriate proportion of protein, carbs, and fats. It's important that we have all three because together they work wonders for satiating you, for helping your body perform at its optimal best, and it's going to satisfy you, and it's really going to help you just be the healthiest person you can be. A lifestyle fit is next. So we have templates that work whether you're cooking at home, dining out, or traveling. We have it all, and adapting to your life rather than forcing you to adapt to a rigid diet. So the diet needs to adapt to you, and it's not a diet per se. It's just a nutrition, your way of eating a nutritional, healthy nutritional diet. You can call it a diet, I guess, but we're not looking at having a specific diet. We're looking at just a well-rounded nutritional diet. All right. So it needs to work for your lifestyle rather than you working for the diet itself. And then repeatable systems. So it's going to create a framework that offers freedom within boundaries. So there's no more guesswork or confusion about what constitutes a good meal. All right. So we create frameworks that is going to give you the freedom, but we still have some boundaries because we're still trying to achieve something with our health and fitness. So why protein is the anchor? Now, I know a lot of the time protein is spoken about a lot. And I want to just cover why, okay? It is such an important thing. And I know it's really, really rammed down people's throats, but it is very important. And this is why right here. Protein serves as the foundation. It triggers satiety hormones first and foremost, which means you're going to feel full and satisfied hours after eating protein. It preserves valuable lean muscle tissue during fat loss. What this means is that when you have more muscle tissue, your metabolism is faster. So, you know, when people say they've got a broken metabolism, not correct. They just don't have enough muscle tissue. So that's why we need to lift weights. We need to do a bit of resistance training and eat enough protein, build a bit of muscle tissue. You burn more calories, just sat here doing nothing. All right. Protein has the highest thermic effect of all the macronutrients. So basically, when you digest food, you burn more calories because it's not easy to digest. And it stabilizes blood sugar and energy throughout the course of the day. I mean, that's fairly self-explanatory. You'll just have a more level energy playing field rather than having crashes and slumps. So the target here is going to be to include protein with every meal and every snack that you have. A little bit of protein in everything. Just as a minimum requirement. I'd love you to have more, but a little bit is a minimal amount we want in every single meal and every single snack that you have. So I want you to think about what you can do in regards to that, okay? Now, we have 3 non-negotiables to go through here, amigo. Now, while the blueprint offers a flexibility, and it does, and I pride myself on that, these 3 elements are essential for success. So we need to have some boundaries, all right? Now, hydration is first up. A lot of people really struggle with hydration, and for the life of me I have no idea why, because it's the one thing that keeps us alive. Without water we are screwed. We need water in our lives. Consume 2 liters of water daily minimum. All right, please, minimum. This will support metabolism, it will reduce false hunger signals, it will give you energy, it will optimize digestion. Unreal. Water is the best thing in life. Now, a little pro tip we've got here is to start each day with 500 milliliters before your first cup of coffee. Do not just go straight for a cup of tea, cup of coffee in the morning. Have a drink of water first. It's what your body wants. It's what your body needs. Give it some water, then have your coffee, then have your caffeine. Protein priority. Anchor every meal with a quality protein source to stabilize your blood sugar, support muscle, control appetite. So chicken breast, it could be lean meats, lean fish, it could be pulses, it could be anything like that, okay? Tofu, tempeh, those kind of things. The target is going to be 20 to 30 grams per meal as a minimum amount. It will really be useful if you can get 20 to 30 grams per meal, especially your 3 main meals or 2 main meals or however you eat in the day. And then we have awareness. So it's about tracking, logging, or photographs, okay? We need accountability. And I do appreciate, and part of the Smart Eating Blueprint is that not everybody wants to track. Now, I would say, first and foremost, track, because it gives you data. Log and track your calories. It gives you data. Log and track your macros. It gives us data. When we have data, we know exactly what we need to do if things need to change. But I understand it can be triggering. Okay, so if you really do not want to do that, we can go down the route of food diary, writing down exactly what you're eating every single day, or something that's quite popular with my clients, taking photographs of their food, their meals, giving me a little update, a little description of what it is, and then uploading it into the app that I've got. And what they do there is that I can have a little look and see if there's enough protein, enough carbs, etc. And it's a really good way for people to stay accountable as well. So that's something else. There's 3 different ways we can do it. Okay, it isn't set in stone. Like anything in health and fitness, nothing's set in stone. There is black and white. There isn't black and white to everything. There is nuance to everything. Okay. But what gets measured gets improved. So we need to be accountable in some way. Awareness alone can really improve your choices, and accountability by 30%. Huge, absolutely huge. That's a third, a third of your choices are going to be better because you're actually being accountable to something. So your task after watching this video, I've got a couple for you. So select one meal template from the blueprint. So choose your meal you struggle with the most. Breakfast and lunch are the two that people struggle with, really, and implement the template. Get your couple of meal choices and make sure you know exactly what's in them, protein-wise, calorie-wise, and have them as your go-tos, okay? Use it for at least 3 days. At least 3 days. So say, let's do an example here right now. Say you're going to have Greek yogurt with some blueberries and some nuts in the morning, okay? Lovely, perfect breakfast, really good balanced breakfast. Have that for 3 days in a row, all right? Have that for 3 days, see how you feel, see how easy it is, how it takes away the stress and the decision fatigue. Track your protein intake and water daily. So in some way, you could even write it down on a sheet of paper, track it in a calorie tracker, MyFitnessPal, NutriCheck, whatever. Track it daily and your water intake daily as well. And notice energy, notice hunger, and performance changes as well. So pay attention to how your body is feeling, how you're responding to the consistent nutritional changes. And is there any change in your composition, in your weight, in kind of like energy levels throughout the day? Have a little think and like assess how things are going with yourself in that respect. And the final reminder, the final call on this lesson today: nutrition does not need to be complicated. No matter what people have told you, it does not need to be. The Smart Eating Blueprint literally makes nutrition simple, flexible, and sustainable, and it creates the consistency you need for long-term results. So all you need to do is start with some small changes, focus on the non-negotiables, have those boundaries in place, and watch how quickly your relationship with food transforms. One of the biggest issues is that people have terrible, terrible relationships with food. We do not need that. Food is great. We love food, and food needs to love us, and we can make it love us, and we can love food. So that's what this is all about, building a relationship where we love food. So having said all of that, guys, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Drop in the DMs. Let me know if you've got questions. But otherwise, I will see you in the next lesson. Have a great couple of minutes, maybe a great day, whatever it is, until you watch the next lesson.